We just finished WWE King and Queen of the Ring, and pretty much went as expected, but was still a very, very good pay-per-view in my opinion. We knew what was going to happen. I think the only one match where people were like, maybe something different will happen, maybe we'll have a different outcome, was Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch, just because it was a little bit more unpredictable. But with that being said, that was the opening match of the night. We got Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. Firstly, what was Becky Lynch even wearing? She was in a suit. Anyway, yeah, just, I know it's difficult with their restrictions, but what even was that? Anyway, Becky Lynch comes out, Liv Morgan comes out. They have a pretty solid match. I don't know if it lived up to their previous matches, but it was still very, very good in my opinion. There wasn't any issues. There wasn't any... It didn't feel sluggish. Didn't feel like a Raw match, which often some pay-per-view matches can feel. Just feel like a random Raw match. That wasn't the case between these two. And they were just going at it over and over and over until we saw the arrival of Dominic Mysterio. And, of course, we've then had a lot of rumors. I don't know if you call it rumors. There's been like hints, subtleties that something is happening between Liv and Dominic. This is obviously without Rhea really being involved after her injury. With that being said, Dominic comes in. He throws a steel chair into the ring towards Becky Lynch. He then distracts the ref. Liv Morgan lands a DDT on the chair. Lands a DDT, sending Becky Lynch onto the chair, and then lands the Oblivion 1, 2, 3. So it's like, who were you trying to help? Obviously, you were trying to help Becky, but were you just making it seem like that? I don't know. I guess that's what the whole point of the story is. It's quite confusing, but all I know is Dominic Mysterio needs to teach me his Riz. That's all I know. Man is a Riz master. Man, yeah. How do you go from Rhea Ripley to Liv Morgan? But anyway, let's not get too caught up into that stuff. That's for Dominic Mysterio to deal with. Liv Morgan gets her victory. She gets her moment. She's now a 2-time world champion, as she deserves. I hope this run works out for her better than her first run. I really do hope so, because her first run did not end well at all. So hopefully this is better, and I assume it will be better under Triple H's booking. Hopefully he can hide her weaknesses and highlight her strong points, because that's what you do with any wrestler. We then had Chad Gable taking on Bronson Reed and taking on Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, this was also a very, very good match. This match was all about Chad Gable and how far is he going to go in this match to actually try and win this IC title. What levels is he going to stoop to actually win this championship after he recently turned heel? With that being said, he came out with the Alpha Academy, so with Maxine and with Otis. He sent Maxine back and he brought Otis out, and he's basically said to him, let's stick to the plan. So what is that plan? We'll come to find that out later. They had a good back and forth match. All three men doing their part. Bronson Reed looking like an absolute monster, trying to land moonsaults, trying to land all these moves he should not be able to do for a man his size. We then eventually get to the point where Otis starts getting involved, and he takes out Bronson and takes out Sami. And then Chad is now holding Sami, allowing for Otis to get involved again and to take out Sami, but Otis holds back. He doesn't quite do what was asked with him in his plan. He eventually, Chad speaks to him, slaps him around a bit, because he slaps him every week on Raw. Then they try and do it again, but this time he accidentally takes out Chad Gable when Sami Zayn ducks. This then allows Sami Zayn to roll into the ring, land a Luva kick on Bronson Reed, and get the win. Very, very good match. I enjoyed it. Felt somewhat predictable. I think most of us thought Sami Zayn was going to come out on top. Chad was going to lose somehow, but this is going to lead to him furthering his story, and then eventually getting his IC title that he deserves. We then had the Queen of the Ring finals match between Nia Jax and Lyra Valkyria. And going into this, I was hoping Nia Jax would get the win, and that is exactly what she did. Nia Jax gets her crowning moments, gets the moment she so rightly deserves. She has been working so hard since her comeback. She has been improving so much since her comeback. So she definitely deserves this. Decent match between both women. Lyra Valkyria, an excellent wrestler. I just don't quite understand the whole gimmick. I don't quite understand the character, and I find it boring at times. But as a wrestler, she is very, very good. And we know Nia Jax is finding ways to work with different styles this time around, whereas last time she might have been a little bit one-dimensional. And can we talk about that finish when Nia Jax absolutely crushed Lyra Valkyria? Crushed her. That got a huge pop out of me, I'm not going to lie. I was like, damn, that it was a really cool moment, a different way to end the match other than just Nia landing the normal bonsai type drop. I can't remember what she calls it, but at least it was something different. Really, really good match, and Nia Jax is your queen of the ring. Afterwards, she had a little moment with Triple H. Then once she got on the mic, she absolutely slaughtered the crowd, saying, "You guys don't deserve me. You guys don't deserve to see me in this moment." All of that sort of stuff, because they were chanting "you deserve it" and stuff like that. So really, really good match. Nia Jax versus Bayley at SummerSlam. Hey, all I'm saying is Queen Nia Jax, maybe she should be the WWE Women's Champion as well. We then had the match most of us were waiting for all night, and that was Gunther taking on Randy Orton. Now, this match was really, really good, as you could expect from Gunther and Randy Orton. Actually, most of the matches, as you can see, during this night were really good. But this match was good until the finish. The finish felt flat. Felt super flat. And the disappointing part is these men aren't even on the same roster, so we can't even expect another match out of this that would, explain the finish being the way it was. So basically what the finish was Randy Orton landed an RKO. But due to his knee being injured from the tournament and Gunther himself working on it throughout the night, he couldn't put leverage on the knee, which allowed Gunther to just roll up Randy Orton after kicking out and get the pin. But Randy's shoulders were so far up, you could have fit at least like 10 different books between the mat and Randy Orton's shoulder. It was so far up. I don't know how they let that continue instead of just, the ref not making the count, and then these two very experienced wrestlers could have found another way to end this match easily. So I didn't like the finish, and it kind of killed the momentum of the match for me. But prior to the finish, the match was really, really good. Randy landed 2 RKOs. We had Gunther landing his clotheslines, his power bombs, his Boston Crabs, his single leg Boston Crabs. He was landing everything, his splashes. The splash into the RKO was very good, but like I say, the finish was just not it. But Gunther ended up getting the win, and we have King Gunther on our hands now, and he gets to take on the World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam. And that will likely be maybe Damian Priest, maybe Drew McIntyre. We'll see, because that match was announced by Triple H for Clash at the Castle, or Clash, is it still called Clash at the Castle? Anyway, Clash at the Castle in Scotland. So that has been announced, it is official. So maybe Drew will be champion by the time SummerSlam comes around. Now, we went on to the main event, and I'm going to be honest, I thought maybe Logan Paul might have his first, I wouldn't say boring match, his first match that doesn't live up to the hype of his others. Let me put it that way. But I was completely wrong. This may have been one of, if not Logan's better matches. In terms of it wasn't just full of spots. Yes, there were a lot of spots. Yes, he did put Cody through a table from the top rope, put him through the announce table. Yes, that did happen. He did land that frog splash. Yes, there were other spots like Cody landing a vertebraker on Logan Paul. There were a lot of spots, but it felt like they were telling a story. It felt like they were having an actual wrestling match and not just rushing to these spots. There was reasons for these spots happening. There was build to these spots. And I felt that this may have been one of Logan Paul's best matches. Maybe his best is still versus Roman Reigns. I don't know. Maybe his best is still versus Ricochet. Some would say that. For me, I really, really enjoyed this match. It felt like a proper, well-rounded wrestling match. There were a few iffy moments, like the random Saudi guy getting involved. He's probably not random to people in Saudi Arabia, but he's random to me. He stopped Logan from using the brass knuckles for like the 10th time in the match. But he didn't get too much involved, so that's just, it is what it is. And then like Cody stopping the ref for doing the count. You could have just rolled out the ring and he would have stopped the count. Make it less dramatic. But the match was decent. The match was very good. Why am I saying decent? The match was very, very good. Match of the night, in my opinion, just because it had a solid and a concrete ending. The Randy versus Gunther match would have taken that slot, but the finish just didn't do it for me. Overall, this pay-per-view was really, really enjoyable. Good to just have a pay-per-view at a decent time for us here in South Africa. I know this doesn't cater to the American audience, but for us to have an 8 o'clock pay-per-view is really, really enjoyable. So, with that being said, great pay-per-view, great matches, predictable at some points, but still good stuff. It's a Saudi show at the end of the day, guys. It's a Saudi show. So, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.